Hades 2 is the rare sequel that doubles your options without doubling the bloat, unless you bounce off the opening hours. If you felt the early grind tugging your sleeve, craft this, mind that, brew the thing before you can see the other thing. You're not imagining it. Push past that front-loaded friction and the game blossoms into a combat sandbox that's broader, weirder, and flat-out better to play than Hades 1. Context download in one breath. It's super giant. Melinoë replaces Zagreus. Price is listed at $29.99 on PC with Steam Deck verified. And there's a Switch 2 version in the wild. The core hook is beautifully simple. 2 routes every night. Dive down toward Tartarus to hunt the Titan of Time or climb the surface to break the siege strangling Olympus. That single fork quietly explodes variety. No more seeing the same boss back to back unless you want to. Burned out on a fight? Switch routes, farm different mats, and return meaner. Let's triangulate the big outlets before we plant our flag. IGN is over the moon, calling it a pinnacle across art, characters, combat, and that Corp soundtrack, and they're not wrong. They note a minor knock: in handheld on Switch 2 readability can wobble during busy boss tells. The gamer goes full heart eyes, 5 out of 5, leaning into the character writing, the romance arcs, and Melinoë's more contemplative vibe, a heroine defined by purpose rather than teenage rebellion. PC Gamer tags it at an 88 with a very real critique. The early crafting incantation gating can feel like a survival game checklist before the real meal. Where do they agree? Mel plays tighter and more creative than Zag, the cast is stacked, and the builds get gloriously broken. Where do they clash? Pacing in the first hours and how much you'll tolerate make the thing to unlock the thing. Veteran Games take. Hades 2 is a masterpiece with one thorn: the tutorial by osmosis economy can crowd your first nights. Once you stop hoarding and start spending on incantations, the whole lattice clicks. It becomes the best action roguelite you can play today. Here's why. Melinoë isn't a risk in Zag, she's a battlefield controller. Your cast is a binding circle that slows and chews enemies, and many foes are designed to make you place it with intent. Weapons swing the identity hard. Sister blades turn you into a blender. The axe scythe rewards cold timing with terrifying burst. The torches make you a pyromantic ballerina. On top sits elemental essence synergy. Boons don't just add numbers, they tag elements, and other boons awaken if you're stacking the right mix. Result: more reasons to draft around a plan instead of panic picking your favorite god every room. Then Celine strolls in with Hexes, ultimates that you spec into across a mini talent board. Time slow, lunar blast, necro helpers, the kind of power spike that reframes a whole run. Sprinkle arcana cards, keepsakes, and even familiars, and you've got a pre-run draft that actually matters without collapsing under its own weight. This is the advanced course version of Hades. More levers, still legible. Pattern interrupt the surface. One area drops you into a city map with multiple streets to clear in your chosen order. Another yanks you onto a ship fight after fight, while environmental hazards and undead borders force precision movement. It's a big aesthetic glow-up and a mechanical jolt-less corridor, more decision tree, more pressure. Counterpoint time. It's fussier than the first game. True early on. You have weapons, arcana, keepsakes, familiars, hex investments, and incantations vying for your brain. The rebuttal is in the reward curve. The game pays you back for engaging with systems quickly once you stop treating reagents like a retirement plan. Craft incantations as soon as you can. Unlock the magic region arcana path if it shows up. Pick a hex and commit for a run rather than sampling 3. The doors open faster than you think. Quick spoiler in 3, 2, 1. There's a musical boss encounter with Scylla and the sirens that dynamically changes as you pick off band members, and it rules. Also, you will need to conquer both routes multiple times to see the story's real shape, so alternating isn't just fun, it's progress. Spoilers over, breathe. Let's talk builds, because this is where Hades 2 prints dopamine. One example that sings: heavy weapon. Cast placed aggressively at choke points, Aphrodite for charm hard rune clustering, Zeus to juice chained hits, Hestia or Hephaestus for satisfying on-hit procs, then a Selene hex that slows time. If you can line up elemental prerequisites, you'll unlock if X elements then do Y augments that turn a good idea into a highlight reel. Prefer speed. blades plus Hermes dash attack tempo. Nerfed from Zag days, sure, but still addictive. Paired with Poseidon resource QOL picks makes gathering painless and keeps your offense clean. Pattern interrupt, the Corb factor. The score swerves from lofi haunt to mythic metal without losing identity. And yes, Ashley Barrett's vocals are back in the pocket. This soundtrack doesn't just decorate fights, it choreographs them. What about pain points? Besides the early economy friction, the only universal gripe is readability in portable mode on Switch 2 during busier boss phases. On a TV or monitor, it's crisp, handheld players might squint at fine enemy tells. It's not fatal, but it exists. Narratively, Mel carries the story with a quieter fire than Zagreus. She wasn't rebelling against Dad. She was raised to kill a titan and save a family she barely met. That shift retunes the tone. More mentorship with Hecate, rivals to something with Nemesis, and fresh godly dynamics that comment on your actual run choices. It's the same trick the first game pulled, making failure feel like progress, but with more routes, more conditional dialogue, more did the game just notice that moments. If this kind of no BS deep dive is your thing, hitch a ride with Veteran Game and hit subscribe. We make the videos we want to watch, sharp, sourced and playable, back to value. For $30, you're getting 2 intertwined routes, a flexible endgame that invites specialized runs, and an absurd line count that reacts to your builds. It doesn't redefine the genre the way Hades 1 did in 2020. That ship sailed when Supergiant changed the curve on failure as story. But in the year 2025, Hades 2 is the better game to actually play, more expression, fewer dead boons, smarter encounter variety. Last pattern interrupt, boss fatigue antidote. If a particular fight is wrecking your vibe, don't grind your head against it. Swap routes for a night, target materials you actually need, and come back with a hex-centric loadout that flips the script. Alternating isn't just fresh content, it's a built-in palette cleanser. Verdict. Masterpiece tier. The first few hours may feel like you're filling out paperwork for your witch license, but once stamped, it's moonlit mayhem. Melinoë isn't just Zag but green. She's a different class entirely, and this sequel earns its throne. Now the spicy closer. Is Hades 2 objectively better than Hades 1, or did Hades 1's shock of the new make it untouchable? I'm calling it. Hades 2 is the better play in 2025, even if the original still holds the crown for Revolution. Your turn, are you Team Zag or Team Mel, and why?